G'day. Thought I'd share some poems with you. And the first one my mum just gave me the other day, and it's beautiful. The author is unknown, and it's called The ANZAC on the Wall. I wandered through a country town, 'cause I had some time to spare, and went into an antique shop to see what was in there. Old bikes and pumps and kero lamps, but hidden by it all, a photo of a soldier boy, an ANZAC, on the wall. "The ANZAC have a name?" I asked. The old man answered, "No, the ones who could have told me, mate, have passed on long ago." The old man kept on talking, according to his tale. The photo was unwanted junk, brought from a clearance sale. "I asked around," the old man said, "but no one knows his face. He's been on that wall 20 years. Deserves a better place. For someone must have loved him, so it seems a shame somehow." I nodded in agreement and then said, "I'll take him now." My nameless digger's photo, well, it was a sorry sight. A cracked glass pane and a broken frame. I just had to make it right. I prized the photo from its frame, and I took care, just in case, 'cause only sticky paper held the cardboard back in place. I peeled away the faded screed, and much to my surprise, 2 letters and a telegram appeared before my eyes. The first reveals my ANZAC's name, and regiment, of course. John Matthew Francis Stewart, of Australia's own Light Horse. This letter was written from the front. My interest now was keen. The note was dated August 7th, 1917. "Dear Mum, I'm at Colassa Springs, not far from the Red Sea. They say it's in the Bible. Looks like a billabong to me. My Kathy wrote I'm in her prayers. She's still my bride-to-be. I just can't wait to see you both. You're all the world to me. And Mum, you'll soon meet Bluey. Last month they shipped him out. I told him to call on you when he's up and about. That Bluey is a larrikin, and we all thought it funny when he lobbed a Turkish hand grenade into the CO dunny. I told you how he dragged me, wounded, in from no man's land. He stopped the bleeding, closed the wound, with only his bare hand. Then he copped it at the front, some stray shrapnel blast. It was my turn to drag him in. I thought he wouldn't last. He woke up in hospital and nearly lost his mind, 'cause out there on the battlefield he'd left one leg behind. He'd been in a bad way, Mum. He knows he'll ride no more. Like me, he loves a horse's back. He was a champ before. So please, Mum, can you take him in? He's been like my brother. He was raised in a Queensland orphanage. He's never known a mother. But 'struth, I miss Australia, Mum. And in my mind each day, I'm a mountain cattleman on the high plains far away. I'm mustering white-faced cattle with no camel's hump in sight, and I waltz my Matilda by a campfire every night. I wonder who rides Billy. I heard the pub burnt down. I'll always love you, and please say "Aroo" to all in town. The second letter I could see was in a lady's hand, an answer to her soldier's son there in a foreign land. Her copper plate was perfect. The pages neat and clean. It bore the date November 3rd, 1917. It was hard enough to lose your dad without you at the war. I'd hoped you would be home by now. Each day I miss you more. Your Kathy calls around a lot since you've been away to share with me her hopes and dreams about your wedding day. And Bluey has arrived, and what a godsend he has been. We've talked and laughed for days about the things you've done and seen. He really is a comfort and works hard around the farm. I read the same hope in his eyes that you won't come to harm. McConnell's kids rode Billy, but then suddenly a change. We had a violent lightning storm and it was really strange. Last Wednesday, just on midnight, not a single cloud in sight. It raged for several minutes. It gave us all a fright. It really spooked our Billy. He screamed and bucked and reared, and then he rushed the slip rail fence, which by a foot he cleared. They brought him back next afternoon, but something's changed. I fear it's like the day you brought him home, for no one can get near. Remember when you caught him with his black and flowing mane? Now horse breakers fear the beast that only you can tame. That's why we need you home, son. Then the flow of ink went dry. This letter was unfinished, and I couldn't work out why, until I started reading letter number 3. A yellow telegram delivered news of tragedy. Her son killed in action. Oh, what a pain that must have been. The same date as her letter, 3rd November 1917. This letter, which was never sent, became then one of 3 she sealed behind the photo's face. The face she longed to see. And John's hometown's old-timers, children, when he went to war, would say no greater cattleman had left the town before. They knew his widowed mother well, and with respect did tell how, when she lost her only boy, she lost her mind as well. She could not face the awful truth. To strangers she would speak, "My Johnny's at the war. He's coming home next week." They all remembered Bluey. He stayed on to the end. The younger man with the wooden leg became her closest friend. And he would go and find her when she wandered old and weak, and always softly say, "Yes, dear, John will be home next week." Then when she died, Bluey moved on to Queensland, some did say. I tried to find out where he went, but don't know to this day. And Kathy never wed, a lonely spinster. Some found odd. She wouldn't set foot in church. She'd turned her back on God. John's mother left no will. I learned on my detective trail. This explained my photo's journey, that clearance sale. But I continued digging, because I wanted to know more. I found John's name with thousands in the records of that war. His last ride proved his courage, a ride you will acclaim, the light horse charge at Beersheba of everlasting fame. That last day in October, back in 1917, at 4 p.m, our brave boys fell. That sad fact I did glean. That's when John's life was sacrificed. The record's crystal clear. But 4 p.m. in Beersheba is midnight over here. So as John's gallant spirit rode to cross the great divide, where lightning bolts back home? A signal from the other side? Is that why Billy bolted and went racing as in pain, because he'd never felt his master on his back again? Was it coincidental? Same time, same day, same date? Some proof of numerology? Or just a quirk of fate? I think it's more than that, as I've heard wiser men acknowledge there are many things that go beyond our ken. Where craggy peaks guard secrets, 'neath dark skies torn asunder, where hoofbeats are companions to the rolling waves of thunder, where lightning cracks like 303s and ricochets again, where howling, moaning ghosts of wind sound just like dying men. Some mountain cattlemen have sworn on lowly alpine track. They've glimpsed a huge black stallion, light horseman on his back. Yes, skeptics say it's swirling clouds just forming apparitions. Oh no, my friend, you can't dismiss this as simply superstitions. The desert of Beersheba or windswept Aussie range, John Stewart rides forever there. Now, I don't find that strange. Now, some gaze at this photo and they often question me. And I tell them a small white lie and say, he's family. You must be proud of him, they say. I tell them one and all, that's why he takes pride of place. My ANZAC on the wall. Thanks.